All right, hello and welcome back to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling Channel. My name is Scott and I'm joined by Rob over here. And we are here for the WrestleMania 40 Night 1 Instant Reaction Review. It's been a long night. It's 4:15 in the morning here in the UK, but we are going to come right at you with our kind of instant thoughts and opinions on all the big going downs from WrestleMania Saturday. So stick with us. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling Channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.
All right, once again, welcome back to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling Channel, and we are here to chat all about what we've just seen tonight with WrestleMania Night 1. I'm going to get to a few comments straight away. Daniel Wiley's back with us. Thanks for joining us once again, mate, just as you were with us on the build-up show. I can't believe Sami beat Gunther. OMG says Sludge Sports. That final match was chaos, says Daniel again. Sludge says one of the best Night 1 manias of the two-night era. And Roman physique is crazy. This man is looking huge. I agree with that point from Daniel. I do not agree with what Sludge said about this being one of the best Night 1s. I honestly feel massively disappointed. And I'll be honest. Because that last match was great. It was. And there were some good moments on the show. And there were moments I feel that were presented as highlight WrestleMania occasions. And let's get out there. The big one, Sami Zayn, right? I tweeted this earlier tonight or X'd it. I don't know what the phrase is these days. But that's my biggest, I don't know, not my biggest gripe. I have a lot of things about this event that I'm disappointed about. But it felt very Night 1. It felt very much like tomorrow's all the big matches. See you tomorrow. And I just think that's not the way to do it. Last year, the problem was that Night 1 was too stacked.
So good.
This year, Night 2 is all I'm looking forward to. And now if Night 2 don't deliver like it didn't last year as much as Night 1, in my opinion, then I'm going to come away from this thinking, what was that all about? And we spent 3 hours earlier tonight being so excited. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to be super down on the whole thing because there were good things about, the show, the tonight as well. But generally speaking, it felt like it felt like a good PLE. And that's not what you want with WrestleMania. That's not good enough for WrestleMania. So I think the pacing, the timing, the decisions on which matches were on which night. Yes, you can say it was cold because they kept blabbering on about how cold it was. And trust me, I've been in a stadium for a cold WrestleMania, WrestleMania 35, with a cold chill coming into New Jersey. So I empathize with that. But still, and I understand that the fans might be low on it because of that, but there were just so many things that I was like, yeah, this is as soon as the next match came up, each time I kept going, this ain't gonna do it. This ain't gonna lift it, and that was a real shame. Go on, you jumped in because I'm all over the place.
You're
I'm still on my beers, so that ain't helped.
Is that from earlier, or is that another full one?
I've had about 17 since then.
Well, that shows the level of
professionalism. Says you, mate. Go on, anyway.
I'm so tired. I've had about 6 monsters. I'm buzzing. There was good. I think with every PLE, good moments and bad moments. Yeah. My biggest criticism were the matches that we thought would deliver a little bit more. For example, Jimmy and Jay under-delivered. And then the matches that we thought should have had someone else in it were great. I mean, Bronson Reed, for example, he beat Sami twice on TV, like Raw tapings. And then he literally tweeted, whatever you want to call it, saying, well, I beat Sami twice. So Sami beat Gunther, but he couldn't beat Bronson. So, like, the storytelling there is a little lackluster. Like, I don't get the whole idea of Gable being there, Kevin Owens firing him up and stuff, and all that was good. But should Gunther have won? Yes.
All right, let's just go straight in with that match, because as much as I enjoyed the match, and it's so, I just hate that I'm even saying this, and I tweeted it out earlier, like I say, that I'm disappointed. I can't believe I'm upset that Gunther lost the title and upset that Sami won the title, when both of those things shouldn't have happened. Like, I should be happy about both those things, but they crammed two storylines into one. They wasted Gunther's end of his reign on somebody that didn't need that, a person that's won the IC title a few times when it didn't mean as much. I might add, it didn't mean as much. Yes, it is more credible now, but you don't go back to the person who had it before it started to mean that again. And then, as much as I love Zayn, don't get me wrong, this is the thing. A few months ago, you were there. I came out with my bride into my wedding with Sami Zayn's theme song. I was that into Sami Zayn at the time. This is not a diss about Sami Zayn. The problem is that Sami Zayn should have been doing this, that exact same thing. That, seeing his kid and his wife, seeing Kevin Owens, getting the support from Gable if he's not going to turn heel, going out doing it on his own, hitting that incredible brainbuster off of the top rope for the world title, not for the Intercontinental.
Yeah, I know. It
should
have been done last February.
Exactly. And if it couldn't be because of this whole thing of Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and going another year, that's fine. And if it couldn't be this time around because of Drew McIntyre and a world title, that's fine. But let's do it at SummerSlam then. Let's not waste. This is the one pop. The one thing we've all waited for as Sami Zayn fans is the IC title. Like, and that diminishes the IC. And at the same time, now I'm going to big up the IC by going, the incredible run in the IC, meaning something with Gunther on Sami Zayn. Like, those things do not match. They don't go together. They should have been completely separate. And that's what frustrates me about this night. That the things that they put across as surprises, or like, oh my goodness, what a moment, were not, in my opinion, not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, see, it's weird. Like, we love Sami, like, we've spoken very highly of his work rate. I mean, from Generico with him and Steve and Generico, all the way up his NXT run. Obviously, the golden moments in NXT before they were black and gold NXT, before it was in its peak with Adam Cole and that. They were like the forerunner, like the front of it, and helped build it, and then transitioned over, and then main evented at WrestleMania. Then they done the thing with Owens and that, and Saudi, when we got that big moment. It felt like that Saudi moment when he come out was the bigger moment than him winning the IC title.
But to be fair, like, I've got to be honest though, Rob. Like, I've been on like X, and I've seen people like act like this is, and maybe people are taking it differently, right? That this is like, oh wow, what a moment for Sami Zayn. Like, I'm sorry, Sami Zayn winning the IC belt after already being IC champion a few times is not the moment I was looking for Sami Zayn.
I think it should, if you want a big pop moment for an IC title, it should have been someone that hadn't won it before.
It should have been Gable.
Like, it should have been Gable. And
imagine Gable won tonight, and tomorrow or 3 months' time at SummerSlam or whatever, Sami Zayn wins the world title. Like, why can't it be that?
Personally,
why can't we get both? Why have we ruined both scenarios by cramming them into one?
Man. Yeah, I mean, Sludge has just put how many, like, the number of reigns it has been now for Sami, which is cool.
Because even the call that Cole did, he went back to the Daniel Bryan, the miracle type situation. It's like, is it a miracle that he's won it for the fourth time? I don't think it is.
Oh, bro, this is the thing. I don't know. It feels a bit. This is how I'm taking it. Right, it's a bittersweet moment because, yes, Sami gets a Mania moment. It's great. He's in front of his wife.
Nice for him.
The crowd are behind him. They pop for it. Love it. I love the fact that he got a WrestleMania moment. There's nothing wrong with it. Everyone deserves. If everyone puts a graft in, they deserve a WrestleMania moment, right? And I'm not against that at all. But it felt like. Do you remember when Edge won the Rumble and was like, it didn't need to be
same
Edge.
thing. Yeah.
It's so annoying. He's like, you're picking the wrong guy at the wrong time. You know, this could have been Gable. This whole thing of coaching him, putting him through his paces.
Because now if
teaching him
Gable
a lesson.
ever wins it, it will
If
never,
they'd have flipped
ever mean as much.
Yeah. If they'd have flipped that and Gable was in Sammy's position and Sami was like, I know you can beat him, and they built it up, I think it would have been a better story.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it would have been the first time winning.
Like I say, Gable winning the IC will not mean as much now. And Sami winning the world title, like, what do? Do the same thing where he meets Kevin Owens backstage and you follow him out to the ring again? Like, as incredible as that was as a shot, like, what? We're going to do that again, are we? Like, are we supposed to act like it means the same by seeing it for the first time? Like, yes, the whole point is that it's a bigger title, but like, it just felt like a complete waste. Both of those things were a waste.
Let's put a positive spin on this though, right?
It was a good match.
The match, fantastic, great finish. Love the build, beautiful chops. But the positive that I want to take away from it, both guys look absolutely incredible. Probably one of the best matches of the night, regardless of how you felt about the finish, like Sami winning.
I just couldn't get emotionally invested in it. That was the problem.
Yeah, that was.
And I felt bad for them as performers because of that. Because last year, what was the IC title match then? So much better. Because I was thinking, oh my gosh, Sheamus could do it, and like, you know, it's the one thing he hasn't won, and Drew.
That felt like the bigger moment there.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, but I will say my positive from this. Okay, we've got a new IC title. That reign's over. Fine. Was it the right decision? I don't know yet. We'll find out, like, in time. But Gunther's now free of a title. Yeah. So
he can step up.
If timing is right, and we always say they used to, back in the day, in the Attitude Era, even before then, they used the IC title to elevate the next main star. Yeah. Who was going to win it? The Rock.
There you go.
Triple H.
Yeah.
The list goes on.
They're the two things you want from the end of this reign, isn't it? You wanted someone to take over the title and it be a big thing, and sadly, that's not the case because Sami Zayn's won it already. And the other thing was for Gunther to go on and do something bigger in the World Championship. And that's what I'm holding on to now.
I think the way they're going to play this with Sami is he's overcome Gunther, but they're going to play him as a big underdog. So they're going to use him every time he has that title. He's like, he could lose the non-title match. And then when it comes to the big title match,
who's going to beat him? Like, because even like Gable's like, you owe me one. You got, you know, as a favor. What? So we're gonna have a match, babyface versus babyface, or again, even worse, turn him heel. Like, it just. I mean, you might as well now. If you're not gonna give him the big babyface pop over Gunther, you might as well turn Gable heel because you've ruined that already. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's 4:30 in the morning talking, but I'm not happy about that.
All right, but let's look. As I said, the positive from this is a solid match, regardless of the outcome, how we felt about his Sami winning.
Yeah,
match was fantastic. Probably match of the night for me.
Yeah, I mean, even still, like, again, I can't deny it weren't like cool. Like, it was a cool moment for Sami and all that, but like, it just should have been more. That's all it is, and it just feels wasted potential.
Yeah, I would say, look, following from that, though, Gunther's now without a title. We'll talk about, obviously, the main event and where that's going to lead, because that's possibly something. But, you know, I think the thing that I really want to take away from this Sami moment is if they've done this whole thing of he doesn't want his kids out there to see him and they don't want to see him cry. We had that Gable moment, right? On Raw. I think Raw. So we had that moment. Sami didn't want his kids out there. His wife was there. He finally wins it. Why did we not get a Sami Zayn celebration just a little bit long? Why did we need a commercial there? Like, why didn't Kevin Owens bring his kids out? Why didn't Gable and Owens bring his kids out to him and celebrate in a ring, even for 20, 30 seconds, and have his wife in there? If that was his big moment, why didn't we get that? Like, it was.
I think it's just manufacturing a big moment when it's not a big moment. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh. It's not a big moment. It still is. Again, in one breath, I'm saying the IC title is so important. The reign is so important. It should be, you know, made to be a big deal. And another time, in another breath, I'm going, oh, it's only the IC title for Sami's. But it's two different stories. You know, that should have been not clashed together. Let's just get through the rest of the night and try not to be too negative. Although I'm running into a negative comment here from Daniel Riley.
Can we do this?
Go on.
Yeah, okay. As I was going to say, I feel like this match, dude. The promo.
That promo video
Unbelievable.
was amazing. It made up for the bad build that we'd had so far.
As I said to you, I was like, they're going to do everything that they need for the build. We're either going to get in a promo or in a match.
Yeah.
I mean, the promo, I feel like the promo over-delivered so much that when we got the match, it felt like, do you remember when you used to play like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter and you just spammed one button? And that was it. And at the end, like...
Yeah, I don't want to be negative, man.
Because all we got was damn super kicks. And I'm sorry.
We were so hyped for this show.
It annoyed me. Like, I hate indie marks when they go, oh, super kicks or a stunner train and all this sort.
It was just
But dude, literally, it felt like we'd watched the Young Bucks from about 10 years ago.
There's no progression in the match, was there? I mean, the thing is, like, and all the emotional bits. And again, look, I know it was cold, and I know the fans were probably thinking, oh, it's been up and down this show and whatever. It didn't help. But, like, that's the risk you run when you put a bad build into something and you don't put something on in a good order. Maybe it should have been somewhere else on the card or on tomorrow's show or something like that. I don't know. I mean, it's hindsight and all that stuff. But then at the same time, like I said, going into it, we were fearful that this match would under-deliver because of the things that have been surrounding it. I mean, I tried not to say it on the build-up show or the predictions, but I remember seeing someone on X saying, oh, yeah, can't wait for like super kick. And I was like, try not to be so negative on it sort of thing. But like, that's pretty much what happened.
That's pretty what it was. And what's annoying is if you watch them wrestle as a tag team,
there's so much more.
You know, sometimes you watch it and you think, man, they get that reputation of arguably one of the greatest tag teams in WWE history.
Yeah.
And then what they just put on is like, what did they learn? To super kick and bump in a performance center and they've just gone out and show. Like, it was night and day of the Usos. Arguably, I would say one of the worst Uso performances we've seen, I think, since they've been on the...
But, mate, we've got to be honest as well. Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns was not great.
Miles better.
No, I don't think it was good either. It was better than this, but it wasn't.
No, but the storytelling was... The story.
Yeah, but Jey... No, I'm like SummerSlam. I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Hell in a Cell, fantastic. That original one. This one, like SummerSlam, everything since then has been not good enough. But and again, this is coming from two guys that think the Usos are incredible.
And I'm a huge Uso fan.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we've said that on we obviously were at the obviously one of the original day one-ish. You know, but I mean, just watching even the promo package that I put in a group chat, it gave me goosebumps. Just
it was
seeing
great.
them sit like them doing the Samoan version of the Hocker and putting the paint on.
Showing the whole history of the team.
And playing. I mean, I've still got their shirt. Play hard in paint.
Yeah.
Like everything, they were so damn good, and like that package, it made them so believable. Everything was good. That package was so good,
and
I felt like
under-delivered.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Sarge's comment here saying, I feel the matches were amazing, but decisions were kind of questionable. I think that's the overall thing for most of the night, except for the main event, which I will get into because I think that actually that delivered more than I expected, especially when I was on the downer going into it. But I think the Uso match is literally the one that is the reverse of that. Like the match just wasn't that exciting. Whereas, let's go through some of the matches, for example, just off the top. Like Becky and Rhea, like great. It was a really good
opener, man.
It was a good opener, but like again, like nothing. And we'll get into these in a little bit more detail very soon. But just very briefly, like good match, but of course there was no surprise. There was nothing to go, oh my gosh, right, what a moment, right? The tag match, it was really fun. It was a really fun tag match in ladder, but there's been better ladder matches, and that's not a diss or anything like that. But like it was like so far that's the highlight of the night for me, right? Then you get into that one obviously changes into this version, and like there are some moments in it, but like there's nothing. That is a good PLE match. It's not WrestleMania worthy for me. This, like we say, was sadly a bit of a letdown. And then you go to this match, and again we've already discussed it at length. Like it just felt like they were cramming two stories into one, and they messed them both up. This one, like, cool moment. Felt like it was again a PLE match or the end of SmackDown. And then this one over delivered in my opinion. So
I think this is match of the night for me. Weirdly, like I would say, Gunther and Sami put on an absolute spectacle of wrestling.
But there was no emotion. It felt fake to me. It I felt like I was having to force myself going, come on, Sami. Like as soon as he hit the entrance, I was like, and I was saying in the build-up earlier tonight and the previews the other day, I was going, I don't want him to win. So the whole time I'm going into it going, no, I don't want him to win, which is mad to say because I love Sami Zayn, but
yeah,
just felt like it was one decision.
Yeah, but I would say, again, it's the little things. So obviously we'll bypass the Sami Gunther thing. I feel like we've been brutal, but honest. Becky and Rhea Ripley, both of them, I mean, entrances were fantastic. Becky coming out through a book and then her attire having her books pages on it. Love that, like little touches to that.
Yeah, I like the little intro they did with the quotes and stuff like that. It was really cool.
Rhea Ripley's intro, one of the best intros I think we've ever had with a live band.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Motionless in White, they perform really well. She loves that song. Like I kind of feel like I think Rhea's great, don't get me wrong, but like when she always like mimes the song anyway, and I always feel like she's just trying to like get over too much. But then I'm like, but she's just a fan. Like this is a band that she likes playing her theme song, and now they're playing it live. It must have been a great moment for her. So like,
100%. But then I feel like I mean, some people might disagree, but I feel like this was the right decision with Rhea winning.
No, I think it's definitely the right decision. Like, what benefit do we have from Becky winning the title?
Exactly, because I was saying with the people that I was chilling with, I was doing a watch party, and it was like, Becky needs to win. I was like, but what does that actually do?
Yeah, for what?
So Becky wins. She goes on basically a book tour, which she's already doing anyway, which is great.
Yeah, with the title.
Good for her with the book. What does that add to it that she's got the title? That is absolutely irrelevant to everything she's doing. Like, the person that I always feel like the person that beats the champion needs to be elevated. And Becky, if it isn't going to be someone like Becky, or for example, Charlotte, an established superstar, Asuka, someone like that we know there's potential there, it needs to be an up and comer. It needs to be someone like Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, or like the next. Yeah, exactly.
Like the next person, because it elevates them and that title even more.
Especially after a long reign like this. And again, I hate to keep going back to it, but that's why the Gunther thing is frustrating as well.
I just think we're going for the wrong person won it because they'd already won it. If it was someone else for the first time, I think that regardless of who it was, as long as it was booked right, the same story as Sami.
Yeah.
No matter
exactly. Gable, exact same story, but Gable would have been
with Gable. And I think that was
Got to quickly get to Rhea Ripley. We mentioned her coming out to her theme song. Do you want to know how she got into alternative music? We should listen to her tell us all about it on the interview I did with her a little while ago on this very channel. Little time to get a cheap plug in there. And sadly, look at him, the beautiful man, no longer with his IC belt. But if you do want to hear about his thoughts on the IC title reign, go and check out our interview with Imperium as well, Gunther and Vic Kaiser. Right, so. I want
to talk about something positive. Give me something positive.
Go on. I was going to say, let's be positive. Go
on. All right. So, firstly, Grayson Waller, A-Town Down Under. I'm happy. I think that's not a bad decision.
It was a weird way to do it. It felt like, because we were talking all week about, like, is someone going to take a belt? Is someone going to, do something where there's confusion with R-Truth? Which we did get some really funny spots of R-Truth. Don't get me wrong. But like it felt kind of underwhelming, and then the only good thing I felt the good thing about was like throwing him through the ladder while he was still holding the belt. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, but this is what I liked. There were moments in that where you think there was moments of making sense. Like there was a normal thought process of when you're trying to climb, like when you watch matches, you think, why are you taking so long to climb the ladder? Climb the ladder, like. You think, just get up there quick. We had their moments. R-Truth and DIY, or as Regeneration X, which I love, by the way. That whole look. I know you probably hated it, but that whole look.
I thought it was funny. Yeah, I thought it was cool. But
easy. Yeah. But but R-Truth and DIY kind of looked at each other was like, well, you take it, I'll take it.
Yeah, why don't you do them?
Why not? Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, I like
and right at the beginning. You had Theory and Waller set up ladders and both go for both sets. So there's a chance of, again, makes perfect sense. Like logic in wrestling.
Yeah, I liked
don't
it.
always get.
Yeah. Some really cool creative spots as well, like the airplane spin, where I think it was Tyler Bate
on top.
had
That was
Finn,
good,
and then the ladder, like just different kind of things, and again, even like we've never seen someone get a title belt, hold it, and then get through a ladder, because the match don't usually continue. So even that was cool for you know the little clip of water as well.
I think for me though, still having a heel team have a set of titles, I think was the perfect decision, and I think
they should have won the first ones as well, which they did, to be fair, and Awesome Truth winning the second. Was a nice moment.
Because you get that wholesome moment of Awesome Truth winning titles for the first time.
Yeah,
at Mania,
and that would have been lost if they had done it first, wouldn't it?
100%. And I think R-Truth, I don't think R-Truth has had a proper Mania moment, and the last
that's what they said is
Mania moment was when he played second fiddle to Rock versus Cena.
Yeah, well, no, he's had some icy title stuff and all that, but and
like, but like on top as a babyface, having that, he would, you know,
no, it was a great moment.
That's what, like, so like I love that. It was very wholesome, and then
it was somewhat obvious. And I know some people were kind of dreading it because they were like, "Oh, Awesome Truth in 2024," but like, that's what it's fine. Like for me, like Damian Priest and Finn were a good team, but they were going to split the belts anyway. So set them in two different directions. You didn't need, like we're arguing with Sami Zayn and Gunther, you didn't need a team to take on that legacy of this long-ish reign. It's been October, you know, it's kind of long for the tag division. You didn't really need it here. It was all about splitting the titles. Because even like this time last year, do you remember we were like, Kevin Owens and Sami, are they going to like go for both titles? Like, it was really confusing trying to figure it out. So
I'm glad they finally done that.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
But I would say the things that really for me stood out, obviously, the title splitting. Firstly, R-Truth giving his, to his childhood hero, John Cena. I love this. I don't know where it started, but I love it. And the fact that he gave someone, was it Finn Bálor an AA through the ladder? That was good.
I think he gave Damian Priest one to the outside.
Possibly, over the road. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. There was something. Getting a hot tag and getting a pinfall and then putting down ladders.
It's so funny,
bro. That must be a record, right? No one else has done that.
Yeah, because we were talking about, would he take down a title and get confused that he's got to get one, not the other, or whatever it may be. Like there was going to be some sort of silly,
I told you something like that would happen.
Yeah, but like you said, he did quite a few of them. And they're all very close together as well. Overall, like it was. I think it was the most fun match, the tag match. I really do think it was enjoyable. And I do
want to say one thing
though. Go on.
So obviously there was the point where the ladder was buckling, and the guys were trying to climb it. Obviously, there was a bit of a worry. Obviously, I know they can take bumps, but not knowing when the ladder's going to give way, obviously is a fear for everyone. The refs were telling them no. They didn't want to ruin the moment, so they continued. And the thinking of R-Truth, I don't know if he was told to do it or what the plan was. Obviously, thinking on the fly, on their feet and that. But Priest throwing one ladder over, and then R-Truth trying to make it look like he's getting into the ring with another ladder to give it to Priest, so then he can set himself back up again. And then Priest kicking Truth to get him back down again, wait for the next spot. I don't know how things like that are. Obviously, I don't know how things like that are planned.
Yeah.
Or if there's like, if this happens, this is the scenario. If how they work that stuff.
Yeah, but you won't really guess that specific thing though. I mean, the commentary they tried to play it off as like, silly old Truth still thinks he's in the Judgment Day. But I think it also could have been taken as just simply Truth tried to get in the ring with a ladder, and Priest was like, "It's mine," and stole it off of him.
But
so
it
way worked.
It played off so well. It wrote really well. But it's little things like that show how great of an actual performer and mindset of the business that Truth has, to be able to go, well, we need a new ladder in. Priest isn't going to go out and get one.
Yeah.
I'm going to let him have, do you know what I mean? It was little things like that. When you think, man, he plays a dumb character on screen, but his mind for the business.
Yeah,
Complete
100%. Yeah, yeah. You have to be smart to play a dumb guy, I guess, is
So
the lesson.
so good. So props for that. But
Definitely.
yeah, I think this is quite interesting. Fun match. Probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, me too. I really
Definitely.
enjoyed it, and you know, again, it wasn't by any means the best ladder match we've had at WrestleMania, but like it was still very enjoyable. And you know, as we say a lot on this podcast, did exactly what it needed to do. Let's get to a few of these comments as well. Touching on the Jay and Jimmy match, Sludge said it was literally just super kicks and punches, and it was so short. I mean, that's a good point as well. Maybe the reason why it didn't kind of translate that well because maybe they might have had time cut. You know, we don't know the behind the scenes stuff, but we can only tell on. Judge it on what was presented to us, and sadly, it was, as Sludge says, just kind of super kicks and punches. Base Up Production said, "What's your opinion on Tour Bus catching fire last night? Do you think Roman Reigns or The Rock done it?" So we talked about this on the build-up show earlier on. I do think it'd be silly for them to not make it seem like it was The Rock or something like that. Obviously, we'll get to that main event match in a minute because they are still very much bloodline together. But I'm sure tomorrow is going to be a different story. Sludge said, beside the main event, the six-pack was really fun. I was really laughing my head off at all these people getting hurt. That sounds quite cruel, Sludge, but there were some funny spots.
Yeah, I think he would have laughed even more if Dragon Lee had got hurt. So I'm glad he was.
Yeah. If you were with us on the build-up show earlier on, you know exactly what we're talking about. Sludge has a weird grudge. Sludge has a grudge. There we go. Against Dragon Lee. Becky Lynch versus Rhea was amazing. I wasn't that excited for it, but I paid attention to it and it was great. Again, I think we both agree there with that as well, Rob. It was a good opener. Enjoyable, the right decision as far as who wins. But that was the problem this night. Like, it was a lot of people like going, "Oh, that's okay," but like that's not there was nothing tonight, and I know they tried to make it the Sami Zayn thing, and that's what they're probably arguing. And the fact that The Rock was back is one thing as well. But like, let's be real, as far as like actual shocks and surprises, and I know we don't always need people turning on people, whatever. But there wasn't much that makes me go, "Do you remember that Mania when blah 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 happened?" You know, and I think the biggest one will be. No, I mean about tonight. It's just the fact that The Rock wrestled and it was pretty decent. Do you know what I mean? We'll get to that anyway. I expected one of Theory just grabbing him out of nowhere. Like I said earlier on, it was kind of just really quick, and then it was kind of done with. So many amazing spots in this match, and New Catch Republic botch was so awkward. What botch was that?
What was the botch? I'm trying to think of.
There was something I feel like I wrote some of my notes about them as well.
I always forget to take notes. I get too engrossed in what's going on.
Yeah. Well,
I do it all the time.
Well, if we don't get to all this stuff, guys, we'll be back tomorrow anyway, so for some more content, including, of course, our build-up for night 2 as well. But we're just going to steam through kind of basic thoughts about these matches and the show overall before.
Oh, the entrance botch. Yeah.
Oh, the entrance botch.
Yeah.
I get you. Yeah, they played they were still playing the Awesome Truth graphic.
Awesome Truth.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable. It was a bit of a shame as well for their like WrestleMania moment together as like mates that had grown up in the scene and all that kind of stuff. But there we go. Anyway, going on to, again, I keep putting this graphic up, but it got changed to that. Now this one got changed to this because surely it was really, really hyping up Carlito turning. And I think last minute they realized, oh, that's what we can get these American footballers to do. We can get them to be in the end of this match. Carlito's going to turn on Raw or something, or SmackDown or whenever, you know? Surely. That is the story they've been telling.
I disagree. I agree with what you're saying. Like, we thought the turn was going to happen. My only criticism with the match was good. Annoyingly, I feel like the only thing that people are going to remember from this is 2 random luchadors coming in with big like WrestleMania masks. Like, where'd you get them from? That was the first thing. And then the other thing was the big ass leap.
That was great.
And, I love that spot. I've done it a few times. I've done it in NXT and stuff. Great spot. But that's it. What else do you remember from this match?
Yeah, it was based again. Like, this is, and I don't want to be too disrespectful, but like, if this was a main event on SmackDown, I'd be like, mate, what a SmackDown we had.
Good SmackDown.
Or if this was like a match on Backlash, which is coming out, I'd be like, yeah, man, decent match. That was one of the better matches of the night. But like, this was WrestleMania. Like, and I know there is, again, we're trying to think of these moments. Now, look, obviously, as you can tell, we are not of the Yankee Doodle persuasion. We're not from the States, but you know, casual watchers in the NFL and stuff like that. But like, still, it's never going to be a big thing for us in Philadelphia. If you're from Philly, and you see those two guys. I guess it'd be like over here. I don't know, 15 years ago, David Beckham, like back in the day when Vinnie Jones got involved and stuff like that.
Like Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, Wayne Rooney. Like, we've had those moments over here. Don't get me wrong, but like this felt like you say, at a detriment, I guess, of the match. Like, I feel like the match had a plan, and I think it was to have Carlito turn, because even in the promo package, they kind of showed that shot of Carlito going, it was all leading up to Carlito, and I think that's still coming. But I think they suddenly went, because I heard rumors that these guys were kind of going to be, they were going to try and get him on the show. So I feel like they just last minute went, sweet, you're in. What do we do? You know what we could do? We put you in the masks and help you support Ray. I think they threw away the original plan to do this. I might be wrong, but that's what it feels like to me.
It does feel like it. I think what annoys me the most, though, is, look, they cater to a big American audience in Philly, right? Obviously, 72,000 people there in attendance, which is great number. 72,500, whatever it was, and a couple of people. Great. I love the fact that it was such a big crowd. They were loud all through, which I really liked. What annoyed me was they brought two American footballers. I don't know if they're former football players or if they're current. I don't dabble too much in NFL. I tend to watch more of the Super Bowl because that's the big thing.
It's an event. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I try and keep up to date with like what's going on towards the Super Bowl. But I think that's just an English thing because it's on so late. So when you bring
that's
in
what I mean.
people,
So culturally for us, like there ain't going to be that same thing. But I think even in America, like there'll be people in Arizona that know who they are. But like that's a very it feels
so for a company that's supposed to be world wrestling. They really, even though NFL is big and it comes over to the UK and it sells out majorly,
it's still a national league,
right? It's so niche that I was like, well, who are they? I was having a conversation and someone was like, are they two people from NXT? At one point, when they first come out, all I see was the beard, that mask and the beard. So I was like, is that the
I was thinking they are big guys.
Yeah, I was like, who are they? Are they new signees or are they NXT dudes? Then they took the masks off and I was like, oh, still don't know who they are.
Exactly. So it's not, it
didn't help.
We're aware that, we might not be the target demographic for that sort of thing. But still, Sludge, of course, has got to get this in. Great win for by Andrade Ray. Ray needs to thank God that Jagger Lee was not in this match. Yeah, because he probably would have lost, I guess, you think, Sludge, right? Why was all the Judgment Day on night one back-to-back matches? I guess it tells the story and also frees up Priest to potentially do something tomorrow. Whether or not he will, we'll see. And again, I know you'll be with us, Sludge, because you're a great follower of the channel. So hopefully I'm right and you'll be with us on the build-up tomorrow. Vortex says, man, at WrestleMania was something. What do you mean by that, mate?
It was something.
Like that sounds positive in some ways, but me and Rob have been a bit like, I'll be honest, a bit down on this night. It's not felt like the WrestleMania night one I was.
Apart from this is a really strange statement to say because it's Mania, but apart from like one or two matches that kind of or three matches that delivered, honestly, I feel like this is just like WrestleMania Backlash.
That's what I mean. It felt like a normal PLE. If this was a normal PLE, I'd be good.
The only thing special about it was the entrances for some of the people. Like a lot of it felt so. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an analogy that would really fit it.
I felt like they were following a formula that was very much about like getting to tomorrow. Like the big stuff is all tomorrow. And like obviously the danger is the last match was very much like that. Because when we got into the last match, I was like, oh great, now we've got a match. Like as much as I'm excited to see The Rock wrestle again, I was like, now we literally have a match that does like it literally doesn't matter because it's just finding a stipulation for tomorrow's.
I call so much of that match though.
But
Rock coming out with a title.
Gotta be, I was gonna say, as soon as I saw that title, I thought, Rob was right about that. But it was the most entertaining thing on the night, and it saved the night for me because it was at a point when, like I say, I was starting to feel like, man, I'm not really sure how I feel about this show. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. You had so many great things. The whole Mama Rose interaction we were hoping for.
Mama Rose. How much did The Rock whip himself with his that belt? I think he whipped himself more than he actually hit Cody with it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, he was, and credit to The Rock in general, because I think I was really worried about him, because obviously we all know after the Cena match at WrestleMania in 2013, like
gassed and
he got
yeah,
injured. He
injured.
looked gassed up a few weeks ago. He had that 6 second, like the last match was that 6 second match against Eric Rowan,
Eric Rowan.
so like it's not really a match, you know what I mean? So I was worried about him. Like I was thinking, man, what if he pulls something or does something or whatever? Like as if he's not in better condition than me anyway. Do you know what I mean? But still,
I mean, don't put yourself down.
look, but at the same
Underneath
time,
that, whew,
I was. Oh, thank you. I was a bit concerned, and I'm glad. Like, I mean, it doesn't look like anything happened, but even if it did or didn't, he pulled off, in my opinion, a fantastic performance, and like
it's so good.
played up to, like you compared it earlier on to Corporate Rock and stuff like that. And it's one thing seeing it as a promos, but him being in the ring, being a heel, is another layer to it as well. And it was really cool to see that side of The Rock again. And I do think tomorrow is going to be some sort of shenanigans. And again, we're going to get to that with tomorrow's build up. But
I will
for
say
this show, really, really enjoy him.
Yeah, I will say that I love the little nods to each other with Owens and Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes with the having a little. So Cody had Seth's logo on the back of his jacket, and then on Seth's tights he had Cody's wings on the Seth Rollins logo. So I like the little nods to that, and like their entrances were really cool and things like that. But can I say, The Rock's entrance, arguably, my favorite is Undertaker's hand one, right?
Oh, that's a cool entrance, yeah.
Beautiful entrance. But I think The Rock's one, arguably one of the greatest WrestleMania entrances.
That intro video
and
how they utilize that stage and the XL and all that, like, so good.
And you know what? For every single person that was downplaying it, going, "Oh, it doesn't look special. It doesn't do it."
Yeah.
How good did it look using an XL for additional little things?
Yeah. There's another.
Now shut your mouth. Let The Rock take you on that ride
with it as well. Someone that had a colourful graphic. It might have been Seth actually.
Possibly.
But yeah, same thing. I just thought it was utilized quite well. And the presentation was fantastic for The Rock. He come out looking cool, and he obviously got me in the mood. But I was still kind of like just thinking, I've got to set the stream. I'm going to get ready in a minute.
I mean, even like at the beginning of that, I was thinking, all right, we know what's coming on, and there's going to be a big thing and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah. But
The Rock coming out, then he had the Brahma ball. Almost lit. For a minute, I thought he was going to come up like Cody did, and I was like, "What? We're watching The Rock join the Brood? Like, what's going on?" Obviously, we didn't get that moment. The only thing I need to take away from the only thing that took my eye off of The Rock's entrance was, and I say this respectfully, never come out with a set of bell-bottom trousers on ever again in your career. Dude looked like he was ready to wrestle at 9 and go to a disco at 10.
Yeah, I thought he was going to wrestle in that. I was like, "Where's his gear?" Like I thought,
it looked mad.
Different kind of match. Maybe he isn't really that ready. And then when he took it off, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is The Rock, like we remember."
Yeah.
But yeah,
because he used to do it with the Adidas
and like
poppers, didn't he?
The pop rip them off, yeah. Vortex just kind of added to his point earlier on. Felt weird watching it. I don't know why, because it just didn't start off WrestleMania like it was advertised. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it felt very much like night one is like the preliminary matches, and night two are the matches that matter. And that is a very dangerous way to go about it. And last year, the balance was weird because, like as we said, night one was way better than night two. I think the one that's done it the best so far for the balance was WrestleMania 38. I think that's one that's been the most well balanced.
Just after the COVID?
No, that's 37. 38 is the one with Brock and Roman as the headline number 2.
Yeah.
But the first night is Kevin and the second night is where do you have Kevin and Austin? Cody comes back the first night. So like, but that was a good balance. If you look at this, I know they're trying to probably frame Sami Zayn as the big surprising moment, and The Rock wrestled again, which again, like I don't want to downplay The Rock coming back because I'm, a kid who at heart still loving, The Rock and the Attitude Era. But realistically, like there wasn't that moment. Like, I mean, you're not going to get that many Cody Rhodes returns to W type moments again, but like, still, there weren't enough for me. Vortex said, they remember the bloodline has now been speared from Roman. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, Roman.
That was a great moment.
That was great, and that's great because it kind of puts the seeds in there for tomorrow. It kind of hints at something.
Can I just say there was little things that we called, right, that we were talking about. Oh, maybe this will happen. This will happen. Obviously, I said about Rock coming out with his title, raising it with Roman at the end. They've done the big raise thing. All of that, like, you can kind of foresee how they're going to do it. But Rock pinning Cody, right?
Yeah.
For the finish. Rock getting speared by Roman. And I'm telling you, like, the jealousy, like, you can just see there's looks on Roman where he's like, that should be me. It should be me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I literally think
something's coming tomorrow, man.
I don't think it's going to be Rock that turns. I think it's going to be Roman that turns, and then the Rock is then going to lay the smackdown on him. I feel like because if Rock turns, I feel like it's just too obvious.
Yeah. So for everyone that's just tuning in to us for the first time and hasn't seen it already, go back and watch our red carpet preview where we predicted WrestleMania night 1 and night 2. So get to the night 2 point and listen to what Rob's got to say there, because really interesting points about Roman potentially being the one that turns on the Rock as well. And again, tomorrow night we'll be back for a build-up as well. Sludge is kind of coming back with some of these matches from 38. Corbin and McIntyre. Okay, New Day, Broad and Brutes. Knoxville versus Sami Zayn, which I loved. I loved. So no mid-card titles. Was there not? And Charlotte versus Ronda. Do you think Cody can finish storyline now that it's Bloodline rules?
I think tonight was Bloodline rules, right?
Yeah, I know, and that's what Michael Cole kept saying. He kept going, "What's the point?" Like, I know he's trying to give across that these are bad guys not following the rules, but to me, that just really emphasized that this match means nothing, and that the stipulation for tomorrow also means nothing. It's all about the shenanigans tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's all about something going crazy.
Tonight felt like Rock and Roman were. They had that because Rock's on the board, they're untouchable. And I think tonight set the scene of where if you think we're untouchable, when normal rules are in place and we can call the shots even still, wait till his Bloodline rules and see what happens. It feels like that's what they're set up for that. So tomorrow night, or tonight for us now, like I feel the more shenanigans, Jimmy J might come out, Solo, and things like that. I like the fact that it happened and it was just those four and there was no one else. So tomorrow is going to be wild.
It really is. And again, we've got so much to go over and kind of dive into, theories and kind of predictions when it comes to those matches as well. Also, tonight, go on.
Again, right, just to emphasize my point on how stupid Damian Priest is. If you are a Money in the Bank briefcase holder, Sami Zayn's just lost. He's gone through a hell of a match. There's a time for you to capitalize on it, right? And then on top of it, you got a Seth Rollins that can barely stand in the middle of the ring at the end.
Yeah.
And you still don't want to come out and cash in?
Yeah, well, storyline and all that. Tomorrow's got to face Drew.
What are you doing?
We'll see. He might cash in tomorrow.
Briefcase.
He might cash in on the Raw after Mania. He might cash in tomorrow. He might, there's still some time after that as well. But, we'll see. Anyway, it's been really good chatting to you once again, Rob. Thank you for joining me on this ridiculously late, early / whatever you call it in the morning, nighttime stream we've done. It is 5:04 a.m. here in the UK. So if anyone's over here on this side of the pond as well, appreciate you staying up with us. But even if you're on a better and more friendly time zone, we appreciate you sticking with us as well, especially those that have been with us all night. I know a lot of the guys in the comments have been with us since the build-up show, which we started 8 hours ago now, I think, is when we first started streaming tonight as well. So thank you to everyone that's been with us tonight. I know we got a lot of new subscribers tonight, which we are so appreciative of as well. We just hope to see you back again for tomorrow's build-up. If you didn't join us for tonight's one, basically we get ourselves and yourselves hyped up for the PLE as if you need it for WrestleMania, but still we're here talking last minute predictions, rumors and things like that, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of talk about what we've seen take place on night 1 of WrestleMania as well. Get to a few of these comments before we get out of here as well. Vortex says, I feel like if Cody wins tomorrow, it could end up like a Hollywood movie because they had this rivalry for 2 years, and if he wins, fans are going to pop. Yeah, I think it's just a massive moment you don't want to miss out on. But then after seeing what they did, mixing up what I think could have been 2 great moments with Sami Zayn and an IC title win for someone else, I'm a bit scared now. But and this whole thing of like, oh, we get a lot of us were saying if Gunther loses, you know, if Reigns is losing, Gunther shouldn't lose. So now, like, are they really gonna do 2 at once? We'll see how they go. So I said,
well, you're
will
saying
they make?
that, but also Seth as well against Drew. Imagine if Gunther loses, Seth loses, and Roman loses. All in
Yeah, and
like,
Seth looks like a bit of a chump now. Like, it looks a bit too
Just a bit.
obvious that he's weakened for tomorrow. So it feels like a waste for him to get involved with this storyline. But anyway, like, it'll be interesting to see how he kind of deal with that tomorrow. Sludge says, why did they make Damian Priest win? Oh, as in the Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Your guess is as good as
mine.
mine.
I don't know. I'm hoping there's a reason for it.
You know,
go on.
You know who would have been good, Sludge? They should have given it to Dragon Lee. I'll take that.
There we go. Look, Dragon Lee comment right there, waiting for you as well. Wheelchair Gamer 05 says, wild finish. It was a really, really crazy end to the night. And I do think, like we said earlier on, it kind of saved the stream for us as well. Tomorrow, Bloodline Rules match, 11 p.m. For Wheelchair Gamer 05 as well. Hope you'll join us again tomorrow, mate. Really appreciate you joining us tonight. In addition of Jason Kelsey was... kind of unnecessary. Yeah, we talked about it earlier on, didn't we? The whole
NFL guy.
Yeah, addition of.
Yeah, I still don't even know who that is.
Yeah. But guys, if you're just joining us now, we appreciate you. But we got to be honest, it is nearly 5:10 in the morning. It's time for us to go to bed. If you do want to hear our kind of instant thoughts and you've only just joined us, go back and watch the stream from the very beginning. We've been going for about 52 minutes now. And once again, so appreciative of all of you joining us tonight. And I don't want to end on a massive down. I know we started on a big old rant about Sami Zayn and all that. And again, it's hard to do that when I've loved the IC title reign of Gunther and I love Sami Zayn. But that's why it frustrated me so much, because these two things, in my eyes, shouldn't have clashed. But generally speaking, like, it was a decent opener. I'm just really, 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 really hoping that's what it was, an opener for a much bigger night too. Yeah. You know, so let's see how we go with that. Once again, Rob, thank you, mate, for joining us tonight as well. Thanks for your support on the build-up show again here on the instant reaction as well. We're going to be back tomorrow with more content, including that build-up show. But in the meantime, we'd appreciate if you checked out our red carpet review and preview and predictions podcast, where we do, of course, talk night 1, but you can skip that part and check out our predictions of night 2. We did them in order, so you can go about halfway through the streams and find out what we mean to find out what we thought to get your fix on our night 2 predictions there as well. And as we mentioned earlier on, some really kind of fun podcasts talking about the history of WrestleMania logos, for example. We've also done some episodes talking about how cramped WrestleMania week is and trying to fix the calendar for that. How do we fix as well the Hall of Fame? Because in our opinion, it's kind of lost its charm. And then at the same time, we've had some great conversations, as we said earlier on, with the likes of Rhea Ripley, Finn Bálor, and of course with none other than Bianca Belair. Oh, you know, we didn't really talk about that match. Let's quickly mention that before we get out of here as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's another problem for me. That's another problem. No, it's a problem for me. Jade should have turned heel. It was a great entrance for him. It was cool, but it was another quick 6-person tag that could have just been on any PLE, not WrestleMania. I just think like it was fun, but like every match was going, oh, there's no moment here. Okay, cool. Maybe it'll be in the next match. And that's what frustrates me about this, because the big opportunity we had here, as a lot of us kind of hoped for, was Jay Cargill turning heel, and it'll probably happen sooner rather than later.
I'm not sure if you can hear. Could you hear any noise back then? Just then?
No, what was it?
Oh, sorry. There's foxes fighting in the back garden.
Oh!
Like WrestleMania night 2.
Go on.
The sound of it. I had no idea. So I think different. I enjoyed that. I feel like the match did what it needed to do. And I think ideally the thing that needed to do was establish Jade. Like, annoyingly, yes, the damage control kind of, they didn't get a win. Again, Asuka doesn't get a win at Mania. But
but like you say, I think it was about making Jade look good, and
I think it did. Like I said, like, on the build-up stream, if you're still a green wrestler and you still need to be kind of put with people that are going to be able to take you under the wing, help you control the match, have this moment, do this and do that, protect you so you don't look real bad. Man, the 5 women that she was put with are, incredible. Jade looked like an absolute star. Like she looked like, I said it in the group chat, I was like, she looks like she belongs in WWE.
Yeah.
She is that, when you have that moment where you're digging for gold, you think you found something small, and then you get a massive, like, that is Jade Cargill to an absolute T. Like, she is prime. She's a perfect WWE superstar. And I think we've just got a glimpse of what she's like.
Yeah, man. I said as soon as it ended, or like I was thinking, I can't believe, like, if you like involved with AEW, you must be watching that and thinking, we made that star, and she's gone. She's gone. Like she's at WrestleMania, and then Cody, some originators of that company as well. And this is a diss to AEW. I think AEW still have done some fantastic things since they've been around. It's not about them versus them or whatever for me, but it is strange. Do you know what I mean? To look on that and go, this is I think the best star they've made. But there we go.
AEW?
Yeah, AEW. But and look, don't get me wrong, she can go to new heights in WWE and kind of learn new skills or whatever. And that seems like that's what the kind of plan is. But for me, again, it was lacking that moment. If she would have turned tonight, that would have been something at least for me to hold on and go, oh man, remember when that happened?
The problem is though, and I think having Jade turn, great idea. I love the idea of her being a heel. But having her turn, one on a first proper match, right? Obviously, I would say
it might be soon.
The thing is as well, the crowd are behind her. So while they're behind her, you don't want them to
maybe build that a bit more before you kind of
and then pull the trigger on it. Because I just feel like she's like, so the person I said was at a watch party. The person I was with was like, Jade shouldn't be in this moment. She shouldn't be having a WrestleMania when she hasn't done nothing. And I just said, look, I respect your opinion, but you're wrong. Right? And I just said, watch this match, watch the way she presented, everything that's about her, and then give me your honest opinion after. And looked at me and went, no, you're right. She's an absolute star. And we see her for what, 10 minutes. Like she's gonna be. I guess I'll make a very bold statement. So you clip it. Do you remember when back into the early 2000s, Brock Lesnar was the next best thing? This is that female moment with Jade Cargill.
Next big thing.
She is the next big thing. She is gonna have that. I mean, even if you turn her heel and stick her with Heyman, oh boy. Do you know what I'm saying?
That we are going off into tangents. But I get what
if you want a heel and you want her to get heat and then just go in, beat people up.
And he mentioned doing his Hall of Fame speech, so you never know. He seems to be keeping tabs on her anyway.
So I'm just saying, we got a glimpse, and just from that glimpse, and the women, all 6 of them looking great. 3 of them coming down on that little plinth, coming out to their own.
That was cool. It was a cool entrance. Yeah,
great. Man.
I think maybe you're right. Get fans behind her a little bit more, and then pull the rug out from underneath her feet. Yeah, underneath their feet. I think that's a good idea actually. So we'll see how it goes and when it happens. Obviously, the next big target is always SummerSlam. You think she needs to be at a heel going into SummerSlam against Bianca or something like that. But maybe that is where the turn happens. Maybe it's a little bit slower than that. But we'll see. But anyway. Once again, we'll be back tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, whether you're with us on the build-up show as well, or you've just joined us here on the Instant Reaction Review. Tomorrow, we'll be back for Night 2's build-up show. Again, getting ourselves hyped up, getting you all hyped up for the event as well. It's going to be a good one. Of course, we're going to be touching on this night's events as well, and we'll have some special guests, our friends in the media, to join us on the build-up show as well. So once again, thank you very much for joining us. I've been Scott, this one's been Rob, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. we will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.